Oh, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode in our Let's Play series. And today, as you can see, uh, because of this goat here trying to kill me, we are finally in 1.17.1, right? And the goal of this episode is to get as many new items as possible and also make as many of the new farms as we can. And also you can see here this region here. This is pretty much a file in your computer that represents 512 by 512 blocks, and I simply deleted this file, this region -10, and also this one -1 -1. So everything here is new terrain generation, and I actually also already started building a farm here at spawn. And yeah, as you can see, it's a shulker farm, but it's actually a shulker farm to feed another shulker farm. And yeah, I will try to explain why I did this. So if I press this button here, because we have mini HUD mod, this shows the spawn chunks, green box there. So basically there is where the mobs will move and minecarts will move, right? So that's why we built the farm there, the portal farm there, because that farm will be working pretty much all the time we are playing. Because we did that portal loader thing last episode for the nether mob switch, right? And inside this head thing here, the mobs count to the mob cap. As you can see in our mob switch here, we have the mobs here when we want the mob switch on, and we move them outside this head box when we want to turn off the mob switch, right? First, because I don't want too many shulkers inside the area that counts for the mob cap, because in case we need to use another farm and we have a lot of shulkers here, the mob farm won't work very well, right? Because the shulkers also count for mob caps, so that's why I built this farm outside here. So yeah, in this farm we will have a whole bunch of shulkers here waiting. And on that farm we will have a little bit of shulkers, and in case I need to use another farm, when I come here to switch off the mob switch, I will also try to remove the shulkers from there. And the other reason why I didn't want to do the portal farm to feed itself with new shulkers is because if we do that, we need to do more portals in the nether, and yeah, I don't want to do a whole bunch of stuff in my nether hub. It would look really ugly, so I place the ugly things here, I guess. So what I'm going to do now is a live stream to try to get a shulker here, and maybe I will try to do a first person time lapse of me bringing the shulker here, because that might be a fun thing to see. So let's go. Okay guys, so I just finished the stream and I did bring shulkers here, as you can see, and the farm there to feed this farm. And yeah, the farm is actually working for 2.5 hours now. So let's go to the nether and check how many shulker shells we got. Okay, so as you can see, there is a few spots that I forgot to place buttons, but yeah, I can fix that later. Let's try to fly here. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Yeah, so 2.5 hours and we got 10 stacks, almost 11 stacks. Nice. So yeah, it's about 4 stacks, a little bit more per hour, right? Just so you guys have an idea, In episode, I think it was episode 6 or something like that, I spent 33 hours in the end hunting for shulkers, right? And I got 39 stacks of shulker shells. So now with only about 10 hours of this farm working, we gonna have the double amount of shulker shells we have. Yeah, and I also went caving, and let's see what I got. Yeah, I got a little bit of the slate, cobblestone, a lot, right? Yeah, and I also found a geode and a shipwreck with moss, but this was actually in a faraway chunk because there were no shipwrecks nearby where I deleted the chunks. And yeah, we got a whole bunch of ores, especially these deep slate ores, right? Really cool. And also we got a lot of raw copper and raw iron blocks, right? These are some unknown stuff, but we also found some dripstone and glowberries, and I found 3 glowing sacks. And I also found a geode, and yeah, I mined this much calcite, smooth basalt, and amethyst. But yeah, now I will keep trying to find more geodes, especially because the one I found was too far away. So I'm gonna try to find some nearby the area I just deleted the chunks, so we can make a amethyst farm there. And I will also make a moss farm, because I already spent some time in creative design farm, so I just have to rebuild it here. Okay, I'm building the moss farm here. As you can see, I have a schematic of what I designed in creative, but I decided to show you guys step by step, or at least component by component. So here is the storage. It's a real simple storage, just some impulse item filters here. So this 4 will be for moss blocks, and here we have 3, one for carpets, one for azalea and flowering azalea bushes, right? And yeah, here is some hopper mine carts that will place the items that will be up there in these hoppers, and these droppers will drop it in this water stream here. And yeah, these 2 less hoppers is for bone meal, right? All the seeds and everything that's overflowing will come here. Okay, now we have the cobblestone generators, and as you can see here, we have the water underneath these pistons here, and there is other pistons that will push the stone up, and we have okay, I guess it's better to see from here. We have an observer that's observing those rails there that will power this piston, and then that observer will power those pistons to push the stone where the moss will be, right? And I tried to use the observers and rails because it's less lag than redstone dust, right? And yeah, the signal will come from up top there, and will power these rails, and then it will power all the stone generators in this order here. So yeah, we can see here, right? And the clock itself for the farm is actually the farm itself. I don't know if it makes sense, but the lever will not be here, it will be up there, and when we activate it, it will power this and power everything, and then we gonna get the signal from the last layer here, from the last stone generator, and we'll go up there and then power again the farm and power again the stone generators, right? So yeah, it's gonna be a cycle, and the time that takes itself for everything to work here, and then there's gonna be some repeaters with delays there. That will be enough time to generate the moss and use the water and all that stuff, right? But there is a trick here to make the cobblestone generator, because you need to place lava here, but if you place lava here, you'll see that water will turn into stone. And yeah, now that the water turned into stone, you need to kind of remove the lava a little bit fast, as you can see, before it goes down there, right? So let's just wait for it to come to here and remove it before it spreads down there. And you need to do this for all the sides. Yeah, okay, now that you have done this on all 4 sides, you can come here and activate the lever once. Oops. Okay, yeah, that lever was powering that piston. But yeah, as you can see, now the pistons move the stone blocks here, so that way the lava won't spill out there. But now you actually needed to place some stone by hand here, just to let the lava spread to all the way to the end there, right? So yeah, now do this on all 4 sides. Oops, I forgot the stone. Just said that 1 second ago and forgot. Yeah, okay, now that I've done this, you can activate the stone generator a few times, just so it pushes stone all the way to the top there, because we're gonna place water somewhere here, and we don't want the water to break the minecarts or stuff. Well, I think now in 1.17 it doesn't break the rails anymore, right? But yeah. Yeah, just turn on and off the lever a few times and it will push the stone here. And I made the stone generators far away from each other that they can't push the other pistons, right? So that's why this farm is so big compared to other designs out there, right? But yeah, now let me do the next step and I will come back with you guys. Okay, now I just placed some glass on top of the lava there, and I placed these waterlogged trapdoors, and here is where we're gonna activate and deactivate the water with this fade out clock here that I use this comparator, right? And yeah, the signal will come from top here. That's the next thing we're gonna build now. Okay, so I finished building the farm and there is a lot of stuff to explain right now. So this is the observer line that comes down from the last stone generator, and it will power these 4 repeaters in maximum delay, right? And this repeater will power that headstone line down here to power the water, right? And it will also power this headstone line up here that will do 2 things here. First, it will power these rails here that will activate the stone generators again, right? And it will also power this here, that will power this piston, that will push this observer block on top of the moss, and it will break any grass or carpet that is on top of the moss there, and it will power this node block, and this observer will observe, and then this one, and it will power the dispenser, and this delay here is so the piston retracts, right? And the moss can be bone milled again. And yeah, there is another dropper there and some hoppers and a chest for bone mill, right? And the reason I did this is because I observed in my tests that any block that has something 1 block above the moss here or below the moss, it doesn't bone mill. So these 2 blocks here will always be stone. The one that's under the moss and the one that's under the dispenser, right? So that's why I tried to do this inside these 2 blocks. Because if I place any other blocks, like here for example, behind the dispenser or something like that, it will also not turn into moss here. So that's why I tried to, I guess, waste the least amount of blocks, right? And also here on top we have this comparator and this torch. So when we don't have bone mill on this dropper here, that's the case right now, the farm will be turned off because this rail is always powered, and you can always turn off it with a lever here, right, if you want to turn off the farm. Okay, so I brought some bone meal and already placed inside the dispenser in these hoppers here, and when I place some bone meal inside this dropper here, you will see the farm starts working. So let's place some stuff here. And as you can see, it bone meals the moss and then activates the water, right? And cycles through, as you can see there. And activates the rails again, and yeah, it's a continuous loop until we run out of bone meal here, right? Let's simulate that. And so we run out of bone meal, this torch activates, and it will stop the cycle of the farm. Or if we do have bone meal here and the farm is working, we can always power the farm here, right? And it will also stop working. So yeah, I guess this is it for the moss farm, and I will leave the schematic of this farm and also of the shulker box farm in the description. So if you wanna download and build in your world, you can do that. Yeah, and now let's go for the next farm. Okay, so now we are gonna do two very easy farms. So I'm gonna do down here below the storage where we already have some mini farms here. Okay, so we are gonna do a glowberry farm and a glow lichen farm. So these farms are really easy, you just need a dispenser and observer clock, right? Yeah, so for the glow berries one, you can just place a glow berry here, get some bone meal, and if you activate the clock, it will start growing glow berries, and you just have to right click there, and yeah, you have infinite glow berries. And the glow lichen farm is pretty much the same setup, but you need some blocks below here and on the sides, like this. And yeah, now if you place bone meal inside the dispenser and activate the lever, it will grow down here, and you can just use the shears here to get some glow lichen. So yeah, these are two pretty easy farms to make. But yeah, I also spend a lot of time caving. I will show the items I got in a minute. But first I want to show you guys the axolotls. So I got Pinky here, Brownie, Sunshine, and Moonlight. So I have the 4 colors except of course the hair one, because I didn't breed them yet. Here we have a lot of raw copper and raw iron, and also a little bit of raw gold and copper ore. Here we have some amethyst shards. Here we have a bunch of these deep slate ores, right? Including 1 emerald, and I also got one more deep slate emerald ore here, and 19 emerald ore. Before I had only 1 emerald ore, so now and there is a few calcite and smooth basalt here, couple deep slate, amethyst, and a tuff, but I actually found 9 geodes already, so that's why we have the 4 shulker box of smooth basalt, 3 shulker box of calcite, 2 shulker box of amethyst, and this one is mining cobble deep slate, right? And also, as you can see here, we have a whole bunch of shulker shells and 1 shulker box full of shulker shells. So yeah, the shulker farm is working pretty good. Yeah, and the moss farm is working a lot here, as you can see. We got a lot of moss blocks, and there is another thing we can farm with these azalea bushes, and we can use this farm here that we use to get podzol, right? You can just place the azalea bushes here, grow them up, and we can get the flowers here, the leaves, right? The flowering azalea leaves and the azalea leaves, and also the rooted dirt that grows under the tree, right? And with the rooted dirt we can do another one of these easy farms here, and we can get some rooted roots, right? Hanging roots, yes. Yeah, it's a pretty easy farm too. And as you can see in our book here, we have done a whole bunch of farms today, but there is still a lot of farms to do from the new update, right? But I think I will leave that for the next episode, or the next episodes probably, because there is a lot of farms still. So I hope you guys liked this episode. Bye!